It's Friday, March 15th, 2024. Many of you have been asking to see Mimi. Here she is. I know a lot of you love to see the pets, Nugget, Mimi. Mimi's just turned out to be a great little dog. Didn't start out so great, but she's got a great home now and she's doing fantastic. We love her to death. Nugget loves her to death. She's been a fantastic little dog and we're blessed to have her. So a lot of people have been asking about her. Here she is. And she wanted to say hi to everybody, so I'm going to put her down now because we got a lot to talk about today on this Friday. And I want to start out with this first article coming from News 5, Cleveland, Ohio, ABC. If this is true, Tyson Foods. It says here, Tyson Foods wants to hire 52,000 asylum seekers for factory jobs. And this looks at this point to be true. This is ABC News 5 Cleveland reporting this. And remember, they just closed their pork plant in Iowa, I think a week ago. It says here, Tyson wants to hire 52,000 newcomers. I know a lot of people hate when I use that, but I like to be a little facetious. The so-called newcomers. They're going to give them $16.50 an hour, legal and childcare, legal services, and temporary housing. This is an absolute slap in the face to every American in the United States of America. I would not ever, at this point, ever buy anything from Tyson Foods. If you think this is wrong, you should not support Tyson Foods. We need to be voting with our wallets, and Tyson Foods will never get 1 cent of my money, and they shouldn't get 1 cent of your money. This is absolutely appalling. 52,000 asylum seekers getting legal aid, childcare, and temporary housing, and $16.50 an hour after they just closed a plant in Iowa, and I think they've closed a couple others over the last couple years. This is absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely repulsive, and everybody should never, ever support a company like Tyson Foods. What a slap in the face to the American worker, the American people, the American consumer. Tyson Foods, if this is true. And right now, if you Google this, it is looking like it is very, very true. They will never get a cent of my money. I will never eat anything from Tyson. And America, we got to be waking up here. I don't support these sporting organizations, the baseball teams, the football teams, the basketball teams. We saw what they did a couple years ago. They slapped every American in the face. And, you know, to give them 1 second of your time or 1 cent of your money, you get what you deserve. They don't like you. They despise you, but they love taking your money and they love overcharging you for a ticket, overcharging you for a beer, overcharging you for a hot dog. I will never support any organization like that. And I will not support a company like Tyson Foods. There's other options. We need to take our money and our time elsewhere other than to these type of companies and these type of organizations. You know, yeah, it might be an innocent baseball game or football game. Just look at what they stood for over the years. Look where they donate money. Look what they support. Look who they slapped in the face. Look what they did to the military, the police, and the average American. I will never forgive these sporting teams, these organizations. And if this is true with Tyson Foods, I will never forgive them. Tyson Foods. That is how I'm starting out the video today. Now, let's shift gears here a little bit. I just wanted everybody to know what's going on with Tyson Foods because this is an absolute sellout. But shifting gears here, home foreclosures are soaring nationwide and rising fastest in 5 states. So while people are losing their jobs at Tyson, and Tyson is, you know, going to give jobs to people from all over the world, we'll just keep losing our houses and our jobs. There were 32,928 properties in February with foreclosure filings. That is an 8% increase from the prior year. Foreclosure surged in South Carolina, up 51%, up 50% Missouri, Pennsylvania up 46%, Texas up 7%, Indiana up 0.8%. Look, as long as high prices continue to be a problem, mortgage rates, I think at about 6.85% on a 30-year right now. They're going back above 7. Property taxes absolutely skyrocketing. property insurance skyrocketing, more job losses, more qualified buyers are disappearing. You're going to see more foreclosures, ladies and gentlemen. It is just a fact. McDonald's suffers global tech outage, forcing some restaurants to halt operations. What do you think about this? This is happening every day now. UK, Japan, Australia, US, McDonald's in all these countries were affected. Cities like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Seattle. Some of these establishments, some of these restaurants could not even do business. The app wasn't working. The stores had to shut down. A major system failure took place today. And they're saying that even though operations were suspended at some stores, people couldn't order food on their apps. A spokesperson for McDonald's says that this was not cybersecurity related. This was not a cybersecurity event. What do you think? Are they just saying that? Or was it something other than another glitch? I mean, I don't know about you, but we can go back a couple years ago. I've never heard of so many glitches, so many problems, so many apps going down, so many problems with the internet. So many problems, ladies and gentlemen. And we're always told that it's nothing to worry about. It's just a glitch. Don't for a second think it was cybersecurity related. I think it's probably more than a glitch. I think that there's probably more to this story than they want to say. Maybe they had to pay a ransom. Who really knows? But every day this is happening. And think that if they can, if they can get into McDonald's, if they can hack into McDonald's, which is a major system, and shut down stores, what is coming? When are we going to see multiple banks, financial institutions, the stock market be held hostage or just be shut down? People's accounts going to zero. People's money being stolen. I mean, this is happening all the time, but it's going to happen more and more and more. Water treatment facilities being shut down, sewage facilities being shut down, hospitals being shut down. This is happening every day, and you are vulnerable. We're all vulnerable. So this is probably another good reminder to everybody out there. Make sure you don't have all your money in the bank. Make sure you have some food and water put away at the house, more than just for a weekend. You should have, honestly, at this point, at least 6 months of food put away. If you don't have that, work on getting 30 days of food and water put away. Make sure you have a way to protect yourselves. Make sure you have something to barter with. Maybe, some junk silver might be a good little investment. Things are happening, and we're going to see more cybersecurity threats. And at some point, this could really get to a point to where it affects a majority of this country and begins to shut down a lot of this country. The new war, it probably isn't going to be decided over bullets and missiles. It's going to be over cyber attacks and technology. So be careful out there. Market watch. Zero. That's how much 28% of the country has saved for retirement. Zero. And another 30% don't think that they'll ever be able to retire. So why aren't people able to put money away? Why are they not putting money away? Why are they not putting anything into retirement? Because they're broke. There's nothing left over. Everything is going to pay the bills at this point. And people can't even do that. They cannot even keep up with the bills. You look at the average interest on a credit card, 23%. You look at the average cost of going to the grocery store, gasoline prices going up. Everything is getting more and more expensive. Inflation is not going away. So how in the world are people going to be able to save for retirement? They're living paycheck to paycheck. 78% of this country is living paycheck to paycheck. And most people now at this point are just lucky that they're eating and that they can pay their utility bill. And that's getting really difficult to do. So that on Market Watch today. And it's just another reminder of just the condition that the average American, the average consumer is right now. Here's another one. High debt is causing more consumers to live paycheck to paycheck. Again, 78% of people in this country are living paycheck to paycheck. Credit card debt and auto loans are entering delinquency more frequently. And when people lose a car, it's game over, because how do they go to work? How do they go to the grocery store? How do they take their kids to school? You lose a car, that's a lifeline right there. Credit card debt is now becoming more difficult for consumers to pay down because the interest on these cards on average is 23% at this point. Household credit card debt, $7,931 on average. And again, the average rate on those cards, 23%. Could you imagine 23% on almost $8,000? People can't do it. And there's a lot of people who got a lot more than $8,000 in credit card debt. They got $8,000 on each one of their credit cards, each one of those 10 credit cards. In 2023, 8.5% of credit card balances entered delinquency. Not a good sign. Auto loans, 7.7% of auto loans now delinquent. Someone commented yesterday and they said, you've been talking about a crash 3 years ago, then it was 2 years ago, then it was a year ago, and you keep putting it off, you keep putting it off. No, I'm not putting it off because we are in a crash right now. We have been in a crash for years. We are going through this crash right now as I make this video. The crash isn't coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's already begun. Unfortunately, most people were too asleep, like Nugget right now, snoring. I apologize if you hear her. But this person right here that made this comment is sleeping deeper than Nugget right now on one of her power naps. I mean, wake up. Where have you been? The country is now over $34 trillion in debt. We have $175 trillion in unfunded liabilities. 78% of this country is living paycheck to paycheck. 28% have absolutely zero money saved up for retirement. 40 to 50% of this country doesn't even have $400 in cash for an emergency. Crash? When's the crash? I mean, what planet are you living on? Again, Nugget can power nap, okay? But you need to wake up. You need to stop power napping. You need to wake up, come back to earth. This is what a crash looks like right now. When you got food lines all over this country, these food charities can't even keep up with the amount of people at the food lines. We have millions of people coming over here right now that'll probably be getting Medicaid, and if you can make it to California, you get health insurance. Guess who pays for that? I don't know if this person has taken a look at how much home insurance costs right now, how much a house costs. Maybe this person doesn't go to the grocery store weekly like we all do. Where has this person been? I mean, you must be a bot. Is this a joke? I mean, wake up. I mean, please come back down to earth. And I don't mean to judge or criticize here, but this is just an observation. Household debt at all-time highs, inflation at literally maybe 40-year highs, maybe all-time highs. Who even knows? Because they won't even tell us what the real inflation numbers are. And you're asking me, when's the crash? I keep putting it off. No, this is the crash. Look at how many people are losing their jobs. I mean, we could go on for an hour about the state of this economy right now. I've never seen the U.S. economy this bad in my entire life. It is absolutely destroyed. I don't know what city you live in, but we've got tents everywhere out here. Los Angeles, Riverside County, just a mile from my house. There's homeless everywhere. The infrastructure is falling apart. There's trash on the freeway. Businesses are struggling. Another big trucking company just filed bankruptcy, I believe yesterday. That's on freightwaves.com. I don't have the name of the company, but they had quite a bit of equipment, quite a bit of drivers. Another company in trouble. So it just goes on and on and on. And yet there's people out there who are taking a power nap through all this and just believe that everything's fine. There's nothing going on. I mean, just take a look at the leadership of this country. I mean, you need help. I think this is insanity. Yahoo Finance: American debt stings like never before in new era for households. Monthly debt payments, it says here, are eating up consumers' paychecks. People have borrowed so much money to just live the life. When money was cheaper, People were running 5 or 10 credit cards. When interest rates were low, they were buying houses that they would never be able to afford. But because money was cheap to borrow, they could buy a bigger house. They could buy more on the credit card, the minimum payment, they could handle that. Financing on an RV or a boat, a car was much cheaper. Now all of it's changed. To put gasoline in the car, to insure the car, maintenance of the car, the RV, the boats, all that is going up. Again, insurance, maintenance, fuel cost, all that stuff has gone up. And of course, credit cards that they used to pay for all this, those rates have gone up, and now these people are in big trouble. People now cannot even service the debt that they have. But the answer, I guess, is we need to cut interest rates so that people can get back out there and borrow money, so we can cause an even bigger bubble. I don't get why everyone believes the solution is cutting rates. The low rates is what got us into this mess in the first place. All it is going to do is allow people to live above their means again, buy things they really can't afford because they can make the minimum payment, and that cheap money is going to create an even bigger bubble and a bigger depression. And I really pray to God that Jerome Powell and the Fed have some guts and do not cut rates this year. In fact, I would love to see the Fed raise rates, and they need to raise them aggressively. There is going to be a lot of pain to be felt if they do that. I understand that. But I don't think people realize the amount of pain that will be felt if we lower rates, the amount of inflation. This is going to cause hyperinflation if we lower rates. It's going to benefit the people at the very top. It will benefit Wall Street. It will not benefit the average American. It will not benefit the middle class. It will not benefit the poor. It will destroy you. It will benefit only the top 1%. I know that people want those rate cuts. They want that cheap money again. They want that quick fix. But at the end of the day, it is going to do an insurmountable amount of damage if they cut rates. And I really pray to God that they do not do that, because again, this is what has got us into this mess. We need healthy interest rates. We need to see car prices come down. We need to see home prices come down. We need to see food prices come down. They need to pop the bubble, ladies and gentlemen. And when they do, it's going to be extremely painful. But this is what happens when we didn't deal with the situation in 2008. We papered over it with trillions of dollars, right? In 2008, the markets, real estate, everything had more way down to go. It had a way more room to go down, and they stopped it before it went down any further. More banks really needed to go out of business. Real estate prices needed to come down even more. They stopped it. And how did they stop it? They started injecting tons of money back into the economy. So we don't really even know where real estate prices would have really gone back in 2008. We don't know how many banks really would have gone under. We don't know how bad it would have really been, because they stopped the bleeding and papered over it. And so we've been printing money, and we've had quantitative easing and low rates ever since. And so it is now caused or created the biggest bubbles on planet Earth. Bubbles in the bond market, in the stock market, in the real estate market, the auto market, you name it. Literally everything is now a giant bubble. And so we've gotten so used to the easy life, the cheap, easy money, that everybody's addicted to it and everybody wants it. Nobody cares about how much debt they're taking on as long as they can make the monthly payment. But I think the bubble needs to burst, and we need to get back to earth, and we need to see prices come back to reality. CEO of Hapag-Lloyd, one of the world's top ocean shippers, says the outlook has changed for the global economy. The CEO, Ralph Jansen, says inventories are depleted in many cases, and the ocean carrier has seen a recovery after the Chinese New Year. So China is ramping back up. And again, we are so dependent on China. China making literally everything. Due to the Houthi attacks in the Red Sea and the Panama Canal drought, U.S. companies are paying more for ocean freight, with rates on key routes up 75 to 150%. How is that not inflationary? Of course it is. Fuel prices going up, freight rates going up, food prices going up, insurance prices going up. Everything is going up. Where's the inflation being cut? How in the world does anybody believe that Jerome Powell and the Fed is going to be able to cut rates? Threats, he goes on to say here, Ralph Jansen says that there are threats of labor strikes this fall on the East Coast and the Gulf ports, and so they're starting shipping early this year. He says because they are worried about these threats of strikes. Tell me that wouldn't be inflationary. Here's another one. I thought this was pretty interesting today. On CNN, the 6% commission on buying or selling a home is gone after Realtors Association agrees to seismic settlement. The 6% commission, a standard in home purchases, home transactions, is no more, ladies and gentlemen. The National Association of Realtors announced today a settlement with groups of house sellers agreeing to end landmark antitrust lawsuits by paying $418 million in damages and eliminating rules on commissions. The current model for home buying and home selling has been destroyed. I believe that you're going to see a lot of people in the business, a lot of realtors getting out of the business at this point. It's over. It is done. Commissions are not going to be 6% like they used to be. The game is going to change. What commissions are going to be, I have no idea. I don't know how it's all going to be sorted out. E&O insurance is probably going to go through the roof. There's probably going to be lots of lawsuits with all this fallout, and you're going to see a lot of realtors get out of the business. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But if you're thinking about getting into the business, you might want to think again. You might want to do a little due diligence here and see how this is going to affect you. But it looks like the 6% commissions are done, history over, and that's probably going to have an astronomical effect on a lot of agents in the business and on the entire business, actually. And you're going to see a lot of people get out of the business, and the cost to be in the business, having E&O insurance, and now the threat of all these, more potential lawsuits. It's not really going to be probably what it used to be, that's for sure. Dollar General drops self-checkout at hundreds of stores to reduce theft. They're removing self-checkout from their top 300 stores, the top 300 stores where they see shrink, another name for theft. So that's interesting. I've never been a fan of self-checkout. And Walmart's going to be doing the same thing. Target and Walmart to limit self-checkout to 10 items or fewer. So it's probably going to be history also, just like many real estate agents. I think self-checkout was a bad idea from the get-go. I mean, think about it. You have to buy a bag. At least here in California, you have to buy a bag. Then you check yourself out. Next, they're going to want you to load up the shelves, to stock the shelves. Stock the shelves, check yourself out, and pay for a bag. I mean, it's really unbelievable. Wow, we pay people $20 an hour now to work at a Walmart. Unbelievable. America really is changing, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a beautiful Friday afternoon. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I got a good hour of boxing in today, and that's the way I like to end the week, with a good workout. And I hope that everybody is working on their defensive skills, that you're doing your jiu-jitsu. A lot of people saying they're doing a Muay Thai, which is great. Jiu-jitsu, boxing. I'm doing jiu-jitsu and boxing, and I hope that you're doing something to just better yourselves, to be less of a target. We're going to see more crime. We're going to see more violence. We're going to see more chaos. I pray to God you never have to deal with it. If you have the license to carry, I hope that you're carrying every day and you're being more and more proficient in training. So be safe out there. Also, I'm restarted my Patreon channel again. So if you want to check that out, go to the link down below and check that out. Hope everybody's having a great day. Have a safe weekend. Be careful out there. God bless every one of you. Please like, share, and subscribe.